And I'm supposed to care about what happened on a Minnesota high school sports team.
Yeah, you are.
Like, how is this?
Yeah, you
how is
are.
this a national issue?
Well,
and Piers,
you're a
I say
woman,
this. You may
and
not
you
know
should
this
care.
about.
Progressive host and owner of one of the hardest names ever, Krystal, went on the Piers Morgan show, Piers Morgan Uncensored, to do battle with some MAGA right-wingers on their favorite topic. No, not war. No, not economics or tax cuts. But the most important thing to MAGA right-wingers, you guessed it, trans sports. Krystal basically wipes the floor with these people. And Piers makes it clear how unserious this conversation actually is in regards to a national debate that people should be having that actually affects all of our lives. So let's watch these clips and we'll talk about it afterwards.
On this issue, the Riley Gaines Simone Biles thing, I was astonished by Simone Biles, the way she talked to Riley Gaines, and also the way she then basically body shamed her, having made a career in the last few years of standing up against body shaming. I thought the whole thing was a real misstep by Simone Biles. But to hear someone like Eric Swalwell, who clearly is positioning himself potentially one day to maybe lead the Democrats, again saying, hey, nobody cares about this and we need an honest conversation. But about what? I mean, the conversation has been had.
Yeah, it's an honest conversation that men should not be playing in women's sports. And I think that's why Representative Swalwell's party and himself, they're lying to the American public. If it's truly not an issue, I love your example. They had hearings on steroids on Capitol Hill because they wanted to make sure that baseball was fair. Anytime, look, I coach Little League sports. I am a parent. I've got 3 boys. We had, when I was 8, 9-year-olds that I was coaching, we had some girls on the team with the boys because pre-puberty, it's not an issue. Guess what? As soon as puberty happens, no women would win any sports. If we had a unisex Olympics, not one woman would win a medal. That's why the sexes are separated. So when you lie to me and say, well, we need to have a conversation, this is not complicated. If I decided that I was trans age, Piers, and I wanted to play Little League Baseball with 10-year-olds, I would be the greatest 10-year-old Little League Baseball player probably in the world, humbly, right now. Every parent would say this is unacceptable because of the purpose of competition. The fact that Democrats have allowed themselves to be on this side, when the majority of Democrat voters, 67% New York Times, 94% of Republicans, 79% overall, when you're on the wrong side of an 80-20 issue, they don't trust you on any other issue. Grocery prices that he kept trying to come back to, whatever else. They just don't buy in. And I have to do this, Pierre. Sorry to say it. I love your show. My show starts in 4 minutes.
You gotta go,
so
Clay.
I'm going to bail.
Really appreciate it.
And Riley's on with me in a half hour.
Brilliant.
I appreciate it. Keep killing it. Sorry to bail.
Take care,
but
Clay.
love you guys.
I really appreciate it. I know you had a hard out. Thank you very much indeed. Let's bring in the other panelists here. I mean, come on.
There's no way he actually thinks the fact that groceries are too expensive is the same type of issue as high school sports. Let's be for real.
Come on, Krystal. Can we at least agree on this, that this is preposterous, that Democrat politicians are still trying to say we've got to have an honest conversation, when what they really want to do is shut down any honest conversation, because the only obvious conclusion of any conversation is it's wrong.
I'm not here to carry water for any particular Democrat, but think about the topics we're covering today, okay? You have the president coming close to declaring an insurrection and calling in the National Guard on American citizens. You have an oligarch who bought the last election accusing the president of being a pedophile. You have the Trump administration having completely upended the economic order with the tariff regime. And I'm supposed to care about what happened on a Minnesota high school sports team.
Yeah, you are.
Like, how is this?
Yeah,
how is this a national issue?
Well,
and Piers,
you're a
I say
woman,
this. You may
and
not
you
know
should
this
care.
about me.
Well, sorry,
no,
hang on.
You may not know this about me. I am a former Division I swimmer.
You should care about you should care about women's rights.
Okay,
because
so
here's what. No, let me explain to you, Krystal. Don't talk over me.
How is this a thing for a president?
Let me explain to you why you should care. Because only last week we had the story of Iman Khalif, who is an Algerian boxer who competed in the Paris Olympics, won the gold medal, had one of the opponents, who was a Italian female boxer, quit after 45 seconds because she'd never been hit that hard in her life. A lot of us, me included, pointed out that Iman Khalif had been banned from the World Championships for reportedly testing positive for male chromosomes, but was not banned from the Olympics, and was then beating up women in a boxing ring and winning the gold medal in a women's competition. Now, last week, we discovered from the leak report that absolutely Imran Khalif has male chromosomes. For all intents and purposes, Imran Khalif is a man. And a man should not be beating up women in a boxing ring in the Olympics. So when you take the view, that none of this matters, deal with it. None of it matters. Here's the thing. Actually, it does matter.
Though. But Piers, here's what you are letting them off the hook for completely. We were told this is just about protecting kids and we just care. People can be whoever they are and we're not against trans people. This is just about protecting kids. Bullshit. As soon as President Trump got into power and all of these right-wing governors across the country, what do? They attack all trans people. So forgive me if I'm not going to join on the parade.
They didn't attack all trans people. They said trans people shouldn't be in women's sports.
To be in there and trying to live.
Right.
No, they're trying to ban them from the military. They're trying to take away their rights. They're trying to take away their civil rights. So to bury your head in the sand
not. They're trying
and
to
pretend
protect
like
women.
it's just about this niche issue.
All right, they're trying to protect. It's not a niche issue.
It's nonsense.
And as I've just explained to you, women are now losing out on Olympic gold medals.
Piers Morgan is making it seem like this is the most important issue everyone should be talking about. It makes sense to sometimes not want to talk about real life heavy issues and want to have debates on something light, but to make it seem like this is some type of national situation that everyone has to weigh in on is completely stupid. None of this culture war stuff actually matters in any sense of the word. Bringing people on to debate this type of stuff instead of the real world stuff that's going on, Krystal Ball is playing this perfectly. There's no need to get all worked up in regards to this type of conversation. For the most part, it doesn't really matter. But it's easier to have these type of silly debates that don't mean anything as opposed to war. And because Krystal is making such great points, Piers feels the need to talk over her. But he doesn't do that all the time. Only when he's effectively losing his own debates.
At the altar of this bullshit. Let me bring Brian in quickly.
How many high school trans athletes are there in the country?
Let me bring Brian in.
How many?
Brian, until
when
the
they
Democrats...
passed a law in Utah,
hang on,
there
Krystal,
was
stop talking.
One in the whole state.
Krystal, stop talking. Brian, let me bring you in here. Until the Democrats sort out this issue, I promise you it's going to be a stick to beat the Democrats with. And whoever leads the party, if they don't have a clear position on this, they're going to discover, exactly as Biden and Harris discovered, that actually it comes back and haunts them. It is a straightforward issue. I'm a liberal guy at heart, right? I'm not a right-winger. I'm not a Republican, not a conservative here in the UK.
Yeah.
But even I can see this is ridiculous, this whole debate. And to say nobody cares is
Piers,
nonsense.
Yeah. So, Piers, I think you and I agree on a lot of social issues. We certainly agree on this one. I think it's pretty clear and cut to me. If you're born a man, transition to a woman, you should not be on the playing field with other women.
Right.
However, I will say this, MAGA Republicans like to make the argument, we care so much about kids and women's rights, yet geography now has a bearing over a woman's body. And they're telling women what to do with their bodies. Last I checked, trans people haven't killed anybody on the playing field. They don't want to talk about gun control. They don't want to talk about real women's rights and more important issues. I agree. Women, you're born a man, transition to a woman. You should not be on the playing field. By the way, most Democrats agree with us.
I agree
on this issue
do,
as well.
Yeah.
But it's not. Yeah.
That's why Eric Swore was wrong. Final word to you, Roger.
Boy, there's a lot of Trump derangement syndrome here. Let's take it part by part. There's no evidence whatsoever that Donald Trump urged his supporters to engage in violence.
Roger.
In fact, no. Let me talk this time. No, in fact, the two Twitter posts in which he said that disappeared. Secondarily, the issue here is men playing in women's sports. There is no constituency for that. No place in the country. And as
what's the
for
constituency
this idea
for pardoning
that
J6 copy?
Don't change the
constituency for that.
The increases in our revenue tariffs are up sharply. The cost of gasoline is down. The cost of eggs is down. Actually, I think Trump's economic plan's working incredibly well.
Okay. On that positive note.
So can I just say something real quick to Roger?
Very quick.
Can I just say something quick to Roger?
Quick.
So Roger, you just said we have Trump derangement syndrome. You're the guy that's a 7-count convicted felon who Donald Trump pardoned. Okay, so if there's anybody that wears the Donald Trump knee pads 24/7, it's you. You have TFS Trump fellatio syndrome.
You're right.
So
You're right. When the judge doesn't allow you to mount any defense, and when the judge withholds exculpatory evidence from your trial in a Soviet-style show trial, you go to trial in D.C.
Okay. On
And by
that
the way,
less,
lose
You're
the
the
hat.
one with the derangement syndrome.
all right. On that less,
You're the one
less-
with the derangement
on
syndrome.
that less positive
Anytime,
note.
pal. Anytime.
On that less positive note, I'm now
Yeah,
going
yeah.
to call
I
an
care
end
what
to
you
this.
think about
Thank
my
you.
appearance, Roger. I
Thank
really
you
care.
all very much indeed. I appreciate it.
Even when the debate is already dumb, Roger Stone somehow has the talent to make himself look even dumber. When you have nothing else to say, you can just say, people don't like Trump. Trump derangement syndrome. That's such a cop-out, pointless. He could have just said, I don't really have nothing more to say here. I love my God King Trump. It would have had the same effect. Michael Shapiro did a great job of just slapping down Roger Stone because he really deserves it. Anytime Roger Stone finds himself on any type of these panels, someone, if not everybody, should have this type of energy for him. No one should take him seriously at all. He's a cornball, no matter who you support. If you made it this far into the video, you might as well like and subscribe. Peace.